Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan. I hope you're doing well today. I'm up in my attic recording, and it's a little warm up here. So if I start sweating bullets during this review, forgive me for that. I'm sorry it's been so long. As you know, just always something going on. It's been a busy life and busy at work and everything. Anyway, I'm hitting that point in my Goosebumps stage where it seems like a lot of the ones I've been reading here recently tend to be very bland or very dull, you know, a lot of the time recently. Not always, but a lot of the time. So it takes me 3 and 4 weeks to actually sit down and spend the time with effort and with want to actually read some of these. And this review is no different. This one is for Goosebumps, or Give Yourself Goosebumps, number 23, Zapped in Space. Now, of course, this is one of the newer covers that have the newer border on these. There's no like little highlighty looking things that change colors. Nothing like that. A very uninspired cover with one of the monsters from this book, but a very uninspired book in general. It's a fine read, it's a decent read. It has some adventure to it, it has some 1990s cool extreme virtual reality stuff that's frankly almost nothing like what we have now. Even now it's terrible. You know, looking at things like, what's that one thing? I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, virtual reality is still terrible. I don't think most people will ever really want that to begin with. This game is focused, or this game book is focused on that pretty much. If you don't know what a Give Yourself Goosebumps book is, it's not your traditional Goosebumps book or your traditional novel or novella. It is a choose-your-own-adventure book where you read a page and then you go to the bottom and you have options on what page to read next that'll take you to your next part of your adventure. Sometimes it can kill you. And there's about 20 different endings in this book. A lot of those are kind of letdownish as well. There's maybe 2 or 3 that are actually pretty good. Where do I really start with this book? Let's talk about the plot, I guess, like I usually try to start off these particular reviews. You and your friends, 2 of them, one is named Jordan, one is named Katie. You 3 are looking for an arcade for a virtual reality, and you find a rundown building to your surprise after seeing so many flyers around town and whatnot about this place. And virtual reality was a big thing, kind of kicking off in the 90s because of Nintendo and I guess the Virtua Boy. I think that was the 90s. Might have been earlier than that. It might have been like the late 80s. I don't know. But people wanted that kind of thing. To me, it's not impressive. It's just not. I mean, it can be nice for like a horror game like Resident Evil 7. Haven't experienced it that way, but I figure it could be pretty scary in that format, that VR play. And this is a book kind of focused on virtual reality and kind of in the sense more of you get sucked into the game. It's not Ready Player One type of stuff. It's you straight up get sucked into the games. And you have a couple of options, pretty much like all these books start off with. You meet the owner of this place called Madame Zapp, and she is kind of a weird lady. She kind of promotes for you to go to these 2 different games in her arcade that focus on the VR. One is called The Abominable Snow Woman, and of course, as you could probably tell, more than likely, it's an Arctic adventure type of thing. This particular adventure you have to do alone, or you can go on another one called, what is it? Adrift Off Vega, where it is a space adventure. I was more interested for probably The Abominable Snow Woman, excuse me. It's 2022. I was more interested in that because I like that whole kind of, you know, gimmicky 1950s sci-fi type of thing. And I thought Adrift Off Vega could be kind of like that too. And to both of their credits, both of those 2 games are kind of like that. It's kind of nice. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. But again, it's just kind of, you know, it is what it is. Which story do I think I like more? Probably the space one. It's a little bit different than the Snow Woman one. It does take place in space. It has some cool space stuff there, some cool references to some things. And there's actually some pretty horrific imagery a couple of times in here. But you basically start off in the space one meeting an alien who has 2 heads, the fellow from the cover, as a matter of fact. Just so you know, this type of alien is called a vegan. And when I read that, I had to double read it about, well, double read it implies twice, but I had to read it a couple of times to really process the fact that this was the 1990s. This is before veganism had its name and whatever. And it's hilarious. Of course vegans are the bad guys. Absolutely, I agree. Just messing with you guys. If you're a vegan out there, suck it up, get over it. Vegans are the bad guys here. Anyway, there is a war going on between the vegans and, what is the other thing? Arcturians, which is the other alien race. And Arcturians are pretty horrific in description as well. And you have some levels you have to beat to help out the vegan to try to get back home by means of the vegan's transport. And like I said, all this focuses on the VR, but it's actually more to it than a regular old VR. You can get hurt. And if you get hurt here, you feel it, right? Just like in both games. The Abominable Snowman, Snow Woman, 2022, is mostly focused on you in the Arctic alone, trying to find this possible creature, possible person, entity, something like that, called the Abominable Snowman, or Snow Woman, 2022. And I'll kill that joke, I'm sorry, I have to. You're essentially trying to find this person, and it's been a little crazy. A couple of adventures, a couple of things you encounter along the way, and it goes a little bit too much in a sci-fi direction for my taste. I really don't like that. And I understand the other half of the book is focused on space and an alien adventure, and I understand all of it's based around VR gaming, but that particular one, I like it to be that 1950s style type thing. I'm not saying it has to be in that box, but it would have been better if we stayed in that direction. Some of these GYG books actually prove the fact that if you stay in that niche that you're involved with and maybe have an ending or two that's kind of sci-fi-ish, that can work. But for me, a lot of the time it doesn't. And in this case, it kind of falls flat in a lot of ways. I like some of the adventure, like I said, some of the endings, particularly in the space adventure, are nice. They're okay here. It is what it is. As you can tell, I'm kind of underwhelmed. I'm kind of let down. That happens. Some of these books in general from Goosebumps, whether it be from R.L. Stine, from some other people, you're going to have times where you're kind of let down. It's all right. It's going to happen. But I had a good time. I enjoyed it. It wasn't half bad. And that's all I really ask from a book. As long as I'm being entertained and not preached at or anything like that, I'm cool. I'm having a good time. And this is fine. You know, I found some humor watching it or reading it in 2022. But it's meandering. It's not great. It's not a big recommendation for me. If you like choose your own adventure books, this would be fine for you. If you're more of a GYG fan like myself, this is one of the weaker ones. It's not horrible. It's not even bad. It's just not great. It's one of the ones I wouldn't immediately point to and say, you need to read that. It's a must-read for you folks out there. Probably pretty easy to find, too, if I had to bet. Unless things have changed since I bought this book. Anyway, when it comes to When it comes to Give Yourself Goosebumps, number 23, Zapped in Space, if I had to rate this one on a 5-star basis, I would probably give it about maybe a 3 out of 5 stars. I know I keep giving out a lot of 3s here recently, but man, a lot of the ones I've been reading have just not hit home. I'm trying to save the ones that I really do think will, kind of pushing them back further and further to the end of series reviews of like the original books or the GYG books or Series 2000. I'm trying to save a lot of those off till the end and kind of get meandering or bad books out of the way first before I get to those things. Number 1, out of expectation, but number 2, to just try to give you guys something to look forward to at some point. I don't want you to be bored to death. Of course, having to wait 3 and 4 weeks probably doesn't help, but still, Zapped in Space, not a big recommendation. Don't check it out. Don't waste your money a whole lot on this. Unless you're a collector, that's fine too. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this one? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comment section down below. Again, sorry about the wait, guys. I know it's constant here lately. I might as well stop apologizing for it. It's kind of just a brand new upload schedule. Been kind of jumping everywhere, a lot of things happening, a lot of interest on different things I want to do. Got back into writing, got back into the gym. Just hectic. You know how it goes. If you're an adult and you're married, you know how hectic things get when you have all these responsibilities, including a house. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. 3 out of 5 stars for me. What did you think about this one? If you read it, I'd love to hear all that down in the comment section down below once again. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Goodbye.